Good morning or afternoon, and welcome to another Timer Tuesday. For those of you who are new to this, welcome. We'll get started in just a moment. Do be aware that in the GoToMeeting little thing on your side, there is a spot for you to ask questions if you have any. Shelly Harris and I will be on the back end monitoring those. We're joined today by Senior Technical Account Manager James Armington as we talk about marketing as a service. And then just another note that after the recording, we will send you a recording and a copy of the slides for this. So with that said, let's get started. So today's agenda, we're going to talk about just why offer marketing as a service and some of the pieces that might entail and how you can implement these. And then at the end we will open this up for a little bit of Q&A. But again, questions are open on the side there. This is a part of our continued Timer Revenue series. The Timer Revenue series, we've already done track meets and tickets. Creative ways to increase revenue for timers, and then maximizing revenue with RaceJoy, and then most recently registration as a service. All of these are things that you can think about as a timer as a way to differentiate yourself in the market, as a way to expand your services to current timer or clients, or just make races more profitable and retain them. And part of this is coming from our timer survey. The number that we keep saying on this is that 81% of timers provide services beyond just timing. The top one of those would be the registration, which we covered recently. But if you look on that list, number 5 there is event marketing, which over half of timers offer as an additional service. And actually, some of these additional services that the timers are providing really do roll up into event marketing. Participant tracking could be considered as part of that. These are all services that you can market in addition to providing the marketing itself. So you can kind of offer all of these things that work together, similar to the race day suite, in terms of kind of being synergistic and being something that you can build upon while operating on the same database, on the same source of truth, and the same information. With that said, I'm going to hand it over to James as the expert on all of this to take over and talk us through some marketing ideas.
Thanks, Soren. Yeah, so on RunSignup, obviously, as timers, you're familiar with the Race Day Suite. You're familiar with many of the participant management tools and managing the race registrations. There's just a variety of other tools that are available to you as a timer to help not only increase your race registrations and your customers' race registrations, but making your services more valuable in addition to your timing. So we'll be chatting about a number of those tools here over the next little while. The way that RunSignup views marketing and our philosophy for the tools that we offer is that your data is your data. We, as a RunSignup, don't advertise or use your data in any other way. We believe that's the race's data, so we leave that untouched and allow the races and their partners to use that. In the terms when you're thinking about marketing, we think about your mind naturally just goes to ads and things like that, and sending emails and all that kind of stuff, just pushing things out to sell something. But really, the most effective way to encourage somebody to come and participate is if they hear about a race or an event from a trusted source. There's a number of tools that can encourage people to do that. And we believe that, and our philosophy as a company is that we're technology forward. So we're actively developing new tools to give our customers best-in-class technology to be able to offer their races. So we'll roll on through here. Some of the tools that we're talking about can be framed as a service that you provide for your customers. We think that in addition to just showing up and timing a race and providing all of those services, you can make your companies more valuable and more attractive for future business by being able to offer kind of expert use of the tools that we provide. There are a variety of kind of more basic tools that things like marketing, coupons, websites, and things like that are sort of ground level. But you can take that a step further as you kind of dive into what's available to give your to really make this a sellable service for your customers. Things like custom source tracking to be able to track the traffic through various links, Google Analytics, and all of our social media integrations that you can use to customize your verbiage. So we'll start here kind of on the ground level. Email marketing. Our email marketing tools are pretty deep and flexible to be able to do use the database of the registrations and easily market to past participants, current participants, and provide custom information through that, all with a very professional and easy to configure marketing tool. So we'll dive in to email marketing kind of as a general tool here. The email marketing tool that RunSignup provides, we actually use as a company for our own communication with our customers. That's how strongly we believe in how well this tool has been developed. This is free, so it's not anything that costs you as a customer anything to use. You can send as many emails as you like throughout the day, and you can send them to as many contacts as you have, whether that's races, people who've actually registered, or custom lists that you've uploaded from external databases. When these emails go out, our tools can deduplicate based off of email address or names or placeholders. So there's a variety of ways to customize how many emails somebody receives and kind of in what context that email is sent. So if it's a race day email and everyone needs to receive their check-in QR code, we can configure the deduplication to make sure that everyone receives their specific information. Like I mentioned earlier, the emails can call directly to your current registration database. So it's always up to date. It's never out of date. So it's a very easy tool to be able to speak to your race in kind of any in any form, whether you send an email a day after registration opens or a day before the race is slated to begin. There's you can schedule them, which is obviously expected, and our email builders can be used to really pull in a lot of dynamic content from the race itself via the placeholders, which we have in here. One tool that I think is underutilized is our organization email. Every race on RunSignup has its own email marketing account. Actually, has two, but there's also the concept of an organization email, which can span and connect with every race that you work with on RunSignup, including your ticket events. So I highly encourage you to explore our organization email tool to make your email marketing able to connect with as many races that you work with. So we'll cut into some of the tools that I typically recommend to my customers as an account manager. One of those tools, in addition just to sending one-off emails or marketing emails a couple times through a registration cycle, we also have this concept of what's called an automated email. And there are three different styles of automated email. There is the price increase email, which goes out in any sort of interval that you choose before a price increase happens. And that email, there's actually two emails that can go out at the same time. One that goes out to participants who have already registered to encourage them to tell their communities to register before the price goes up, and another email that goes out to your past participants who have yet to register. I found in my time working here that spikes registration, and it's always a good idea to configure those. There's also a cart abandoned email. Someone starts registration and doesn't complete it. there can be an automated email that goes out to encourage them to come back. And then the third type of email that we offer is called a registration follow-up. This is the one that's the most flexible, in my opinion, for encouraging different actions that you would like your participants to take. These can be configured to go out at any number of days, hours, minutes, or immediately after someone registers. Oftentimes this relates to teams, or this relates to fundraising, or it can relate to your referral program. Every one of these emails can be customized using that little pen and paper icon next to the individual email that you're working on. And these can include placeholders, which can pull in specific links, referral links, fundraising links, or team information for your participants. So it's a great idea to use automated emails and set them up before the race begins, so that as you're going through your registration cycle, you're encouraging your participants to participate in and take the actions that you'd like to take. With our website tool, you can configure what's called an email capture pop-up. This can show up when somebody first opens the website, or before they're leaving the website. And it's this little pop-up message that encourages them to provide their name and email address to sign up for more updates. So we'll talk about how you configure that here on the next slide. Basically, what you're going to want to do is create like a catchy title that just encourages people to sign up. Maybe that's stay up to date on our race information by providing your information. You can customize there's a call to action button at the top, or the bottom, I'm sorry, to encourage them to sign up. And when they do sign up, those emails are included into a custom list that you can continue to email. And I'd encourage you to email them if someone is interested in signing up for more information. When you're configuring your emails, and this is the same for automated emails or just standard one-off emails that you're sending, you can start from scratch and just totally build a fresh email. You can build a custom template from within the template creator, which I typically highly encourage folks to do. Building a template allows you to kind of save time, because you can transfer templates from race to race. So if you build an email as a template that you like, you can push that template out to other races. So you're not having to redo the same thing over and over and over again. So I'd highly encourage you to explore using templates and saving some time, and then being able to offer your services consistently throughout every race that you work with. We do have a number of pre-built emails if you're not particularly keen on starting from scratch as a template or as a one-off email. All of these emails have been designed by our account management team. So these are things, templates that we've built based off of our understanding of working with our customers, that can be used as a jumping off point for a variety of different reasons you'd send an email. Maybe it's a race launch. Maybe you're talking about merch. Maybe you're talking about fundraising, or you're sending a follow-up email. Explore these emails when you're considering sending an email, and you can customize them and kind of use some of the verbiage that we have built, and edit the stuff that you want to kind of make sound a bit more custom. When you're uploading a custom list into RunSignup, and this is the same for our normal recipient lists, we have this concept of a placeholder. And for standard recipient lists like current participants, past participants, fundraisers, etc., the placeholders that you have available are pulling directly from the registration database. So things like name, bib number, referral links, etc. That pulls from the standard recipient list. If you're uploading a custom list into the email, say you have 10,000 contacts from an external source that you want to upload as a custom list, you can do that. And say in this example here that we have on the slide, maybe we're going to send all these guys a coupon code to encourage them to come and register for the race as a loyal or a past participant. In the custom list, you can include a column in the CSV file that you upload that maybe includes a coupon code or some form of information that is going to live with that list. And you can tie that column to a custom placeholder within that list. So when you send an email out to that custom list, you can pull in the information from that column. It's we'll show you here on the next screen kind of how you pull in a custom list that you've uploaded. There's this little drop down box in the upper left hand corner that you can use to quickly filter between various recipient lists. They're kind of arranged within the context of what those lists are: registrations, fundraisers, etc. For the custom lists that you do upload from external emails, you would select custom lists. And then if you want to send an email to them, you would include that custom list and then continue on to configure the email. And say in that list, if you have custom information in those columns that you've mapped to a custom placeholder, you can pull that in to the email by way of that custom placeholder. And you can see those placeholders because they're those little percentage sign HTML tags. In this list here that this demonstration is showing, there's obviously some information that's labeled as first name. So you can pull in the participant's first name from the custom list. And then we've uploaded a coupon column as a custom placeholder into this email. And you can see the way it looks when you're building it with that percentage sign. And then you can see the way it looks when it's been delivered. And you can see the coupon code has been included in the email. It's a great way to not only use for marketing if you have discounts and coupons that you're trying to offer people, but it's also a really flexible way to be able to provide other information as well to your customers. Maybe it's corrals or whatever. So there's a lot of great stuff in emails, and I'd highly encourage you to explore the automated emails to drive more behavior for your customers, joining teams, using the referral program, etc. And take a look at those custom placeholders as well if you're trying to include custom information in those lists. The second kind of more broad topic that is very useful for marketing to your races is the race website. In my experience working with customers, if they're stepping into RunSignup for the first time, the website is often the piece that leaves the most kind of meat on the bone, I guess is a way to say it. So as a RunSignup user and a timer, you have the kind of the ability to provide some expert customization for those websites. Websites are free and they are accessible 24/7. So whatever information you put up on those websites will live there for anybody to access. They are SEO optimized. You can tell that by looking at the way that we've configured the URLs for each website. So these are designed to push up to the top of search engines. There's a variety of ways to customize them. In the default form, they can be very basic, but using Website Builder V2, you can really design these to look just the same as anyone's external website if they're coming from a Wix site or a Squarespace. One of the reasons that I encourage timers and races to use our websites is they have the ability to pull in information directly from the admin dashboard. So dates, times, prices, etc. This is especially important in the fee transparency era because it can pull this in without having to constantly go in and manage it. And it saves money for your races to be able to not have to pay to manage the site, and it can save time because of all the information that's pulled directly from the actual race itself as it's built on RunSignup. I mentioned our URLs being optimized for SEO. This will be the same for any race, but say you do want to take your branding to the next level, you can bring your own custom domain over. So if you're the Scott Coffee Run, for example, instead of having a runsignup.com/race/ a longer URL, you can purchase that domain from a registrar and bring that to your RunSignup race website. And it just really enhances the branding. Using this with a favicon, in addition to your race logos and banners, can really just make things look very professional. And as a marketing or as a tool to be able to offer for your races, you can take them from a very basic website to a very professional website and market that as a sellable kind of service. So when you're talking and you're thinking about the website customization, we're kind of in this transition period as a company from what we've considered and what I've been calling our legacy website tools, which has been around for a long time. But we do have a brand new tool that came from our TicketSignup product called Website Builder V2 that allows for really a deep level of website customization. We do have another Timer Tip Tuesday webinar specifically designed to talk about websites as a more broad topic. So I would encourage you to take a look at this upcoming webinar, and we'll dive more into websites on that one. But using a website, it's an easy way to sell kind of more of an advertising service and include a lot of custom information and branding on a website for your customer and make you more valuable as a partner for your races. So we've talked about a little bit about email marketing, custom placeholders, and how those lists can be used to speak to the database and pull in information. They're up-to-date, unlimited emails, and how you can bring in external information or external lists to your email marketing to be able to kind of market to a more broad audience and include custom placeholders. Websites are obviously a very powerful tool, and we'll talk more about that in coming weeks. But when we're talking about marketing and as a sellable or a marketable service, I'll harken back to one of our first slides, which said, kind of reiterated our philosophy that the best referral comes from somebody you trust. So on RunSignup, there are some tools that can encourage that. Things like Teams and our referral program. These are designed to get participants talking to their friends and family and bring them to your races. The Teams are a very kind of easy way to allow someone to register for your race. And they don't have to be scoring or pricing based. They can be, but they can also just be purely social. In my experience, people love being part of a group. And if I register for a race and set up Team Armington, I am now more inclined to tell someone about the race that I'm doing and encourage them to join my team. There are a number of ways that you can use this social tool beyond just having folks talk about the race and encourage people to join their team, but we can actually incentivize people either through custom pricing, team size competitions, or using some of the other tools like our that are not team-based, like the referral program, to actually provide refunds and get people sharing out your race to be and be incentivized to do so. So when you're building your teams, what I would consider to be a social team is a team type or a group type that is very basic. There's no registration limits, there's no size limits, there's no gender limits. It's just a way to configure the race to allow someone to create a team page and talk about it. These team pages actually can include logos. They have custom and specific share links so that they can share them on social media and have people just automatically join that team as they're registering. And configuring them is just as simple as building a group type and allowing teams to be created. When someone does come in to create a team during registration, they have the ability to name it, set a password, and then as folks are registering, it's easy to find that team on the team joining screen, which we're displaying here, or like I mentioned earlier, every team has its own specific join link. And so that can be a very easy way for someone to share, especially if you're doing like a team size competition, to just encourage them to share out their team join link through their team admin page and encourage more people to join their team. A registration follow-up email would be a great way to promote that and remind people as the registration cycle is going through to build their teams up to a size that that would allow them to win that competition. I mentioned pricing for teams. We do have a number of ways that teams can be used to provide pricing incentives. Say, if you set up a competition where once a team reaches 10 members, they can receive a special registration price. So you'll see here on this left image that after this particular team setup, once the 9th member of a team joins, the 10th member will actually receive this specific price. So this is just an added incentive just beyond social. And so the social aspect of teams, come join me. You can say, come join me and help us receive this special price. We've got a team of a good size. We're actually receiving special prices. It's more of an incentive for people to come and join that team because they're getting a deal. On the right-hand side of this slide, we're displaying what we call group refunds. And I usually see these pricing structures used in tandem with one another. On the left, we're going to provide anyone, members 10 through 100 or more, a special price. But I also want to reward the people who have signed up early and paid full price. And I want to reward them and give them a discount from what they've paid. So on the right-hand side, we've configured a team refund so that once that 10th person joins and the team becomes 10 members, we're going to issue the previous registrants a $10 refund. And that brings them down to a special price. So this is all geared towards incentivizing people to create teams and talk about teams and get them to a certain size so that they can participate in a more affordable way, or just be rewarded for participating of a certain size. I love teams. It's very easy to set up. The difference, and this is a critical thing that I want to really make sure I drive through. Turning on teams is as easy. It takes you 30 seconds. It's nothing. Unless you promote it and unless you talk about it and put things on the race website to advertise these features and send in registration referral emails and really drive that behavior for your customers, you're not going to see the success that you want. That's where this as a service comes into play. Any of your customers can turn on any of these features at any time. These are all free and available. But as a timer and as a partner who's going to be managing this stuff, being able to be an expert and set these up for success is what's going to allow you to upsell this and sell it as a service. So wanted to say that it's a transition into our referral programs, which are designed to give every single person who registers for a race an individual referral link, kind of like an affiliate link that you've seen on Amazon and things like that. Every single person is incentivized through the referral program to share out a link that allows people to register through. And you can reward somebody for however many registrations they bring to your race through their link. We've seen tremendous success across a lot of races who use this program. And I've had certain races come in where 13% of the registration came in through referral programs. It seems like in 2023, we had 5% of our transaction dollars came in through referrals. So this can be a very valuable tool. The difference is how you set it up and how you market it. So by default, and then the very basic way that referrals can be set up is, and I think I've probably already spoken about this here, Soren, so we can move on to the next slide here. So the difference for a referral program is going to be how you promote it and market it and how you set it up. In the referral program, we have what are called referral refunds, and we have what are called swag rewards. Those are a little different. Referral refunds can issue back a registration refund to a participant if they've hit a certain number of referrals. And a swag reward can be a piece of merchandise that is triggered when somebody hits a certain number. So using those in tandem is a great way to do it. But the only way that these are successful and truly successful, not just marginally successful with a handful of people participating, is if you promote it. Promotion is the key. So setting up the referral program pop-up image through your social sharing settings, so that when they register, they're immediately informed of the referral program, and they are immediately prompted to share it to Facebook, to share it via email. You can see that slide, that image on the left. That gets them, once they register, they're inclined to click that button and share out the link and talk about it. Posting this on your own Facebooks and marketing this via email is also the other way to do it. Using what we mentioned earlier with email marketing, the registration follow-up emails, and including the referral program link in the email. I always say use the link placeholder. That one actually creates the shareable URL and puts that into an email that folks can share out. That is one of the principal ways that I've seen these be really successful, creating a drip campaign to constantly remind participants that this link exists, this is what you can earn, please share this. So a tandem of social sharing, pop-ups, putting this out on social media, talking about it, sending registration follow-up emails. These are the ways that, and importantly, putting this on the website, having a slide, having a page on the website that talks about the program, that alerts it. People don't use things that they're not aware exist. Sometimes when you're registering for a race, you just blast through and you're excited, but you have to create additional touch points to continue to sell this. One of the last things we'll talk about as just kind of recommendations for selling and marketing would be coupons. These are obviously, discounts are a great way to provide people an incentive to come in and register, in addition to registration follow-ups, price increase emails, and referral programs. These discounts can be percentage-based or dollar-based, and it's a great way to give your partners or companies in your area an incentive to encourage their participants or their customers and their communities to come and register. When you're setting up these coupons, it's really important to add expiration dates to them. We work on a renewal basis here in RunSignup, so you are going to renew your race year over year. That helps with SEO, and the coupons will live in eternity unless they have an expiration date set. So make sure, if you have coupons that are specific to a single race year, that you set expiration dates. Use coupon tag reporting to be able to quickly pull up your coupon reports based off of certain contexts. Maybe you'll add a sponsor tag to a coupon. That way, when you're pulling the coupon report, you can quickly pull up your sponsor codes by searching for that tag. There's a lot of other advanced options for coupons. We have a number of webinars on how to build them and talk about them. Things like, donation-based coupon availability or new customers only, things like that. And then also you can customize your coupons to only be valid for certain conditions, whether it's events, store, or preventing double dipping using the rest of our discounting tools that exist. One of the most valuable ways that I've seen individuals use coupons is through what we call these auto-applied coupons. And so it'll basically create a link, and you can see it here on this left image. There is a URL parameter on the back end that ampersand coupon equals. That will automatically apply a coupon to a registration as they're coming in through the system. So instead of just giving somebody, maybe it's like a local, business or whatever, instead of just giving them a coupon and hoping that people can remember what the coupon is, you can actually give them a link that will automatically apply a coupon. I've seen this used with QR codes and a lot of things, so that when folks click the link or access the registration through that specific link, the coupon can automatically apply, and it kind of helps make it a little easier to use. I threw this slide in here this morning. because I've had a number of customers who know run clubs in their area, or biking clubs, or other clubs that actually have their membership hosted on RunSignup. We have a membership product that is used for it can manage club memberships and things like that. And as a result of their club membership being hosted on RunSignup, we can provide automatic discounts to active members within those clubs. I'd really highly encourage you to speak with the run clubs in your area, the various clubs that you're familiar with, and see if they'd be interested in hosting their membership on RunSignup. Because configuring automatic discounts for their members can be a very easy and pain-free way of applying an incentive for them to come do your race. Your races may not have the connections that you do as a timer with these clubs. So as somebody who is involved in the endurance business in your area, you can configure these club discounts for the clubs that exist on RunSignup, and in turn, that membership site can include the automatically discounted races component on their membership website, which shows a list of all of the races that they receive, that their members will receive discounts in. You can see an example on the right of how that looks, and it's an added little touch point that leverages your connections within the community, so long as that club is on RunSignup. And if they're not on RunSignup, a custom list and a coupon code would be a great way to reach out to those clubs and provide them an incentive to come in. The race dashboard that we have, that you see right when you come into the admin dashboard, has what we call race insights. And the race insights graph can show a lot of information about your registration, your transaction dollars, your donation dollars, who's coming to the site and when, where they're coming from. It's a really great tool to get familiar with and be able to read, because not only can it help track the traffic and the success of a race at any given point in time, you can use a number of those charts and graphs to see how things have progressed in previous years, and kind of use it for kind of price consultation, and see kind of what marketing efforts are working and what marketing efforts are not working. Up in the top right-hand corner of the race dashboard is our signups kind of graphs, and these graphs are showing the active registrations as they come into races over a period of up to like 30 days, and then as it comes in, however much time is left between the day that you're looking at that report and race day. And it's a great way to track how a race is doing and kind of be able to offer kind of marketing insights to that customer to see if they can catch up or if they're exceeding their performance from previous years. The race insights graph is I think the tool that has probably the most depth to it. The overview tab shows kind of the things that I was mentioning: page views, signups, transactions. There's a little pen and paper icon on the right-hand side of those boxes that can be customized to show all of the information or some of the information. It's a great way to track kind of how things are going throughout a registration cycle. But those tabs at the top, there's a lot of really great features in there that you can use for diving deeper into how a race is doing. Things like the heat map, things like demographic information, and then also the registrations tab has a number of very deep tools that you can use to see, to kind of compare registration performance over, time of day or day of week, or compare your registrations to previous years, and kind of see where the spikes are and how those relate to maybe marketing efforts that were tried. It's a great way to continue to kind of keep your finger on the pulse of how things are going and be able to kind of prove that you're that your marketing efforts that you're selling to them are working, or identify areas where there might be some places for improvement. There's a tool that exists that, in my opinion, is underutilized in the world of the kind of the way the web is set up nowadays. Everybody has tag managers and Google Analytics and all that kind of stuff, and that's wonderful. I mean, there's a lot of great data information that you can grab from those external sources. We have our own within RunSignup that actually works with your Race Insights dashboard, and we call that custom source tracking. Custom source tracking exists within the promotions tab, and you can create specific links that go to the race's website or right into race registration. That doesn't provide any sort of discount. It's purely a tracking link. And because this exists within RunSignup, there's really very little possibility that someone who comes through those links and registers, it's more consistently accurate to tracking. I know folks have issues with Facebook pixels and things like that, maybe not having accurate data or having slightly inaccurate data. That happens a lot. Using custom source tracking is a great way to have like a good kind of safety net to be able to track your marketing efforts. So one of the examples that I use for custom source tracking is if I'm going to create and purchase a Facebook ad for the month of July, I'll create a custom source tracking called July Facebook ad. And it'll give me a link, and I'll use that link in my Facebook ad. And then as people click through that link and register, we're recording those transaction dollars. And if you include the amount that you spent on that ad within that link as you're building it, we can give you a kind of a simple understanding of your ROI through the custom source tracking reporting. But even more valuable than just the custom source tracking reporting is on your Race Insights dashboard. If you configure at the bottom, there's you can look at you can actually look at these codes on the Race Insights graph to get your page views, your signups, your donations, and all that stuff that happened through those links. It's a great way to track eyeballs, in my opinion. I use that for page views a lot to say, okay, I'm going to give this particular business that says they're going to bring so much activity to my race. I'm going to give them a custom source tracking link, and I'm going to see exactly how much they're using it, or how much traffic they're drawing to the website, and how many signups are coming through. So at the bottom of the Insights dashboard, there's 3 tabs that you'll see. They're called Referral, Email, and Custom. Referral will track kind of the last known website that somebody was on before they visited your website. That doesn't need a custom source tracking code. That just exists, just evergreen native in RunSignup. It can be pretty useful to just kind of see where some of the website traffic is coming from. If you're on, in this, like running in the USA or whatever, you can kind of see if there's traffic coming in through there. The email tab will show the performance of emails that have been sent from RunSignup using our email marketing V2 tool. So you can kind of see how your emails are doing. And then the custom section of the Insights dashboard will show those custom source tracking links that you've created and be able to provide you, most importantly, in my opinion, the page views and the signups to kind of see how much activity is coming through those links. Underneath the Insights dashboard, like the graph that we were just talking about, there are additional charts and graphs that you can add to display specific information that you're interested in. I don't see a lot of people spend time customizing these, but I'd encourage you to pop in there and customize it. And it's a great way to give you some kind of the key metrics that are important to you and create charts and graphs that can display that without you having to go in and pull reports. There's a number of other tools that we have for marketing. The links tab within the promotion can give you straight links and QR codes to various parts of the website. The social media links, you can include those for the various social media platforms that a race uses. You can also add custom links, so if they don't use Facebook or other ones that we have that are automatically integrated, you can include those there. Referral tracking, we talked about that. I would highly encourage you to read some of our blog posts about referral programs that have been successful to get a deeper understanding about how to really make those sing. We talked about custom source tracking, and then we also do have Facebook Pixel, TikTok Pixel, and Google Analytics 4, which is an incredibly powerful tool for broader tracking of the traffic as it relates to what you're offering. Number of other tools in here that we have. Really, RunSignup is a very deep toolbox. And if you're going to be marketing or selling yourself as a marketing service to your races, getting familiar with some of these additional tools can help you kind of create a product that you can sell to your customers.
All right. So with that, one of the things that we've been talking about in this series a lot is how do you price this? And this all kind of falls under a somewhat nebulous header because you as the timer know your audience, know your races and your customers, and are going to probably have a pretty good idea of which of these tools are the best for races and partners that you're already working with. Um, a race that is relay based, you're not going to have social teams. You have a relay based setup already. So, what you offer, what you suggest may vary. And on the other end of that, some of these things might be uh, pieces that you present to new races and new opportunities to make sure that you get that race to sign with you for the year. But again, the kind of three ideas out there that we've been doing through the series are like three levels of this: a basic, a level one, and a level two. And again, these are not gospel. These are jumping off points for you to give you some ideas of maybe how you want to present these. Um, Either standalone or in tandem with other pieces. And again, the best way to do that is the way that works for you, your organization's pricing structure, and the customer and audience that you interact with. But for a basic package, an idea would be, we're going to set up registration for you. We're going to add some logos and race themes. Maybe we'll add some sponsors and just do some of those basic pieces. The next level, level one marketing, maybe this gives you an opportunity to increase your flat fee or your base fee, depending on how you price things. This would include that basic level, but it would maybe include setting up a simple, 3 marketing email campaign, or even building some templates out for the race to be able to use. And to James's earlier point about being able to copy these forward. You might have some really good ones at your disposal already. So it's not a huge lift necessarily, but you're also going to have a really good idea. And we've said this kind of every week that we've been doing this. These races may happen once a year. They might be an organization that puts on 5 races a year. You as a timer probably go to 50 or more races a year. So you've seen stuff work really well, and you've seen stuff maybe struggle to land, and you might have some insight that you can offer. You are the technology expert coming in to talk to these audiences. So make sure that you're able to present, good opportunities, but also warn them away from things that maybe aren't right for them. And that plays into all different levels of this. But again, with the level one idea, the step beyond basic, maybe set up a team registration and maybe set up a referral program for them. And then level two, or like the advanced level, again, this can feed into having an elevated base fee, or maybe going with something where if you are pricing per participant, having a little bit higher per participant fee if they opt for something like this. Doing something like that, or saying, hey, we're only going to charge X amount if you get to 250 participants, 500 participants, is a good way to show the race, like, hey, we want you to hit your goals, and we firmly believe that these efforts that we're making here are going to translate directly into more registrations. So this level could include all of the other stuff, but also, a more robust email campaign, maybe building out that source tracking and helping them build an ad campaign. setting up those social media integrations, and then making a really like a referral program that's not just, hey, come join because I have this link, but having a referral program or even like a team size program like we were showing earlier. And I really want to highlight one other thing that James said earlier, but I think it's probably one of the best takeaways from all of this. There's a big difference between just turning on a feature and actively managing it. Turning on a feature doesn't really do anything if you're not promoting it, like James was saying. So just keep that in mind. Like, there are all these opportunities there, but they don't really generate engagement just by clicking it. Same as a race doesn't just get participants by existing. There is effort required, and if you're offering this as a service, part of what you're saying is you will make that effort on behalf of the race. Lost my mouse. There we go. So a couple other things here as we reach the end. First, as we're coming up on the close of this, there aren't any questions in the queue currently. If you do have any questions or comments, why don't you drop one in while I babble a little bit longer, and we will circle around to those as we close out. But another really good way to learn some of these tools is through our timer certification program, in particular the RunSignup timer certification. So if you're not already certified, be sure to do that. It'll go through kind of all of the basic RunSignup setup tools, and if you complete that certification, you get the RunSignup certified badge. If you have all 4 certifications, you do show up first in the timer search. That's just kind of our way of helping you show races, hey, I can provide these services for you. I can be this expert for you on these tools. And then another reminder that we will have the custom websites as a service on August 12th. We kind of, blaze through the website piece because we're going to have this more expansive version of that. But as races transition from the legacy website to websites v2, this is a really good opportunity to help do this work that is a little bit preventative or maybe feels like a lift that races are struggling with. This is your opportunity to help them build that first touch point for their audience. So with that said, are there any questions?
I'll hop in here really quickly unless we don't have any questions, and just remind our viewers here and anyone who's coming in to check this out. If you have questions about any of these marketing features or registration features, reach out to your account management team, reach out to the support team. We're all committed and to our customer success, and I would be happy to demo and really walk through any of these features in any amount of detail that would make sense for you to really get them to a successful level so you can start selling them.
All right. And with that, it looks like there are no questions. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you at the next one.
Now Joel here, one of our developers, has something he wants to say.
Like and subscribe. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Hello, Internet. I'm here.
I should just have you record that for all the videos.